Hi everybody, it's Joyce Gehring. I'm here to show you my craft room I recently reorganized. It's a small space and I didn't spend a lot of money on custom shelving or a lot of bins and boxes for organizing, but it works for me and I hope you enjoy it. So the inspiration to me reorganizing my craft room all started with my pens and pencils and scissors and things. I used to have all of my tools on my desk in a little cup holder, maybe two or three cup holders maybe. The thing is, every time I went to use something, for whatever reason, I didn't seem to put it back. And so my projects would get spread all over my desk. I'd have to be searching for tools and pencils and things, and it just drove me crazy because I could never find anything, even though the little cup holder was right there in front of me. So the first thing I did was go out to Michael's and buy one of these cube organizers. I think they're called Recollections, and it's one of the standard things that Michael's carries. It wasn't real expensive, but I found it so handy. First thing I did was put all of my tools and things in one drawer, so that if I need something, it's right here next to my desk. I can either leave the drawer open and put the things right back, or just put things away when I'm done. I got my pens and pencils and office supplies in another drawer, so those are out of the way too, and still handy. One of the things I like the most about this little organizer is this third drawer is something that I made into my current project drawer. I like it because when I'm working on something and I have to leave the room or whatever, I want to put my project items all together so that when I come back I don't have to search for them again and get everything out from its place. So here I'm working on some wedding invitations for a friend, and I was able to put all the pieces to this project in this drawer and come back to it when I need to. I've got receipts in here and different things off of the internet that I've printed. My cardstock is in here. I can put glitter in here that applies to this project if I need to, and ribbons or whatever. So I always have a project drawer going on. I like it so much that I think I'll go back and get another cube with just a couple of bigger drawers for other projects, because you know we always have more than one thing going on at once, don't we? We can't help ourselves. Anyway, so the next cube I bought was this 3-drawer that has bigger sections, and in it I can put my really big adhesive gun that I use for scrapbooking. You know, it's one of those giant things that you never know what to do with when you're not using it. So it has a place now where it lives in this drawer. And I have one for my glue gun, other adhesives and things, and then I also have one for ribbons. And one of the things I like the most that I went out and found while I was reorganizing is this little envelope tray. It's one of these $4 jobs that you get at Staples or wherever, but I never could figure out what to do with my cutters. They were always in the way, and if I had them standing on a shelf or something, these little flaps would always come open and get caught on my magazines or whatever I had stacked up next to it. So I was really happy when I decided that this little rack was going to work really well for my cutters. You can put several of them in there. They're out of the way and yet they're still handy. So that came in really great. Then I found one of these little folders from Martha Stewart, also at Staples, and it's just a pocket folder that I put on the wall. I always have papers around that I wanted to keep track of. Usually it's information off the internet or things that I want to refer to later, but I've discovered if I put them in a file folder somewhere, I can't find them. I don't know where I put them. Sometimes I'm too organized for my own good, but this way they're right there next to me if I need to refer to them, and if it gets too full I can always weed it out and put new ones in, throw the old ones in the garbage. So next to my cubes I have my workspace. This is my desk where everything happens. This is where my laptop lives, and I have a work lamp there that I can use if I'm scrapbooking. I need extra light in front of me. I have my cutting mat for my work surface, and that happens to be new. I think I got that at Hancock Fabrics. Of course, it was on sale. And then I also have a desk lamp for ambient lighting if I don't have my work lamp on, because sometimes that gets a little hot and I have to turn it off because it's too warm in here. And then this box I really like. It's just kind of a collection box for things that I can bring in here during the day and throw in there that I don't have to mess with at the time. Like receipts for things I've bought during the day that I still need to enter in my checkbook or whatever. My stapler lives there because it's always got to be handy, and it's so awkward that I didn't want to put it in a drawer and take up space, so it just lives here. But this is my desktop where all the action happens. And next to it is something else I found that I really enjoy. This I got from Hancock Fabrics. It's called a satchel storage cube. I had to stop and think there for a minute because it's such a strange name, but it's on wheels, which is one of the things I really like about it. And I have my Silhouette Cameo on top of it so that it's not in my way, but I use it so much I wanted it handy. These little bins you can buy separately, but they are also craft organizers, and they work specifically with this little cube, and they just slide in and out. They're so handy and very convenient. So when I'm not using my Silhouette, I just push it back under my table and it's completely out of the way. I just love that. So over here, we have a little antique dresser thing that I keep all my vinyls in. I wanted them out of the way and yet handy. So they're right there next to me if I need them, but they're not taking up space and other shelves in that. And then above that, I have my Recollection storage shelves, again from Michaels. And I didn't go out and buy these all at once. I happened to get this big shelf right after Christmas on one of their sales. I think it was 50% off, which is a really good deal. But I like that shelf because you can organize it in so many ways, make it very personal for what you need to put on it, and it's not overly expensive. And one of the things I saw on YouTube this week was someone had taken all their ribbons off of the rack that it belongs on typically and put their punches up there. I thought that was really great because punches are so awkward and bulky that a lot of times you don't know where to put them, but this way they're displayed nicely, they're handy when you need them, and it looks good. So next to it I have another little shelf from Recollections, and I have all my paintbrushes up in that bucket up there so that they're out of the way. And below it I just have a little magnetic board that I covered with scrapbook paper, so it's a little more personalized. And then I have some of my embellishments for scrapbooking on these little wedding tins. I just put a magnet on the back and then I can hang them on this magnet board and they're handy. And from that I have hanging my Cricut and Silhouette cutting mats. I don't like to put them on shelves because they take up space, and if you stand them up somewhere they can get curled or bent and then they're out of shape for when you go to use them. So moving right along, I have my handy dandy pie cupboard on this wall. And I've used this for years for storage. It comes in really handy, but all of us have buckets and boxes that we don't really want out, and yet they have to be handy so we can use them, and they can't be too terribly organized because they're kind of messy. But that's what lives in this cupboard. I have my paints down there for my custom painting when I do people's murals, wall murals and that. I also have my sewing kit in there and my paint kit, and then my travel information is in this bucket so that if I have anybody ask me for questions or tips on their travels, I can refer to that. We've done quite a bit of traveling and lived in Europe for a little while, so that was kind of fun. But this other wall has my IKEA shelf on it. I think all of us have at least one of those in our house somewhere, but on that I decided to put my papers for scrapbooking, and my magazines and idea books live there as well. But when I went to organize my papers, another idea I got off the internet on YouTube was to organize your papers by the color of the rainbow first. And so, believe it or not, another idea on YouTube was to just get these priority mail boxes and repurpose them. So that's where I store my papers. Each of the colors has a 12 by 12 page protector to put my label on, and then behind it is my plain paper as well as printed papers. And then behind that I have my 8.5 by 11 stock in that color. So arrange everything by color first, and then after that what you want to put together are events of the year. So start in January with New Year's Eve, and any papers that you have that are specific to a holiday like the 4th of July or Mother's Day or whatever can be easily found in those particular labels. And then behind that you have seasons like summer, winter, fall, spring, all of those. And behind that, I haven't gotten this far yet, but I need to do these. This would be your event files for pets, family, swimming, Disney, anything that you have specific papers for, you can put in a folder of their own there. So once again, it's so handy. These little mailing boxes are just the perfect size, and obviously they're the perfect price, so they come in really handy. I love my paper organization. I used to have it in boxes all over the room and I couldn't find what I was looking for. But below that I just have some simple bins with my Xyron sticker maker, my inks and stamp pads and things, and then I also have a bucket for envelopes because it seems like I'm always searching for an envelope in different sizes, and if I keep them with the papers and the cards and things, then I'm not sure where I can locate a specific size envelope. But I have my embossing materials and tools and stuff there, and I also have a big bucket for my daughter to put her things in because she likes to come in here and craft as well. That way her things are separate from mine and they don't get all mixed up and used by one or the other. But I also have my printer on this little bookshelf here, and it's right next to my desk, as you can see, which I really enjoy. The printer used to live on top of my desk and it drove me crazy because it took up space, it was noisy, and I was always trying to work around it. I'd stack things all over it, so it was a mess. But I'm glad now to have it in its own place. And then I just have a cute little wire type of rack for a bulletin board that I've put some of our pictures of Europe on to kind of make the space a little more homey and make it feel more like my space. And below that I just have some odds and ends in boxes. I like to use clear boxes for my things because then I can see where things are. I have found that if they're put away too well, then I can't find stuff and then I don't use it. And I ended up putting some mood lighting in my room. I got some Christmas lights from my sister, and I think you just never can have too many Christmas lights around you, so I call that my mood lighting. And then I also put in some cute little words and vinyl sayings on my wall because why? This truly is my happy place. Anyway, this one says, when in doubt, add more glitter. So true. We have scrap happens here. And I have one on this window that says, been there, done that, and scrapped about it, which is kind of fun. Oh, this box right here is kind of handy. It's my household inventory box of different things like bills, receipts, school records, and things like that that I need handy whenever I sit down to pay bills. And that way I don't have to get them out, put them away each time, but at least they're right here next to my desk, and I can easily get a hold of them. Well, that's it for my craft room. I hope I was able to give you some ideas and maybe inspire you to go organize your space. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go start a project and make a mess on that desk. I'll see you on Facebook.